Good afternoon. I have had a bit of a creative morning, so I thought I'd jump on and share with you some of what I am doing. I have been, oh, I don't want that vibration. Get rid of that, apologies. And so yes, so I have been using one of the packs of papers that will be available to you free in January with SALEa-bration. So these are one side of the papers, and on the other side we have some fabulous florals. So this paper in particular, I felt really just didn't need anything more than a sentiment, so I have popped sentiment on that one. This one I used the stripe at the back and one of the other backgrounds, and also fussy cut out some of these flowers. So I have started embracing my inner fussy cutting, not my natural, but I'm getting better. This one focused on the granny apple green and so saffron. The fantastic thing about this set of papers is it coordinates with 11 of our ink colours, so somewhere along the line you're bound to have one or two of the colours, hopefully, and if not, you can order some in order to get the paper for free. So again, I've fussy cut there, and this one again, that's the bumblebee, and I've cut out some of the flowers and used some of the bumblebee sentiment. So there's some of the ones that I was making, and I've cut some bits up to show you very quickly, putting together a few different ones. So there is a world of opportunity with this set. So if you do join me, then please do say hi. If you watch on catch up, which is probably more likely because this is not a time that I would normally be on, then please do say hi. And if you have any questions regarding SALEa-bration, then please do drop me a message. So the papers here are featuring the black and white, and the I have focused on the Misty Moonlight and Just Jade for this one. So my card base is in Misty Moonlight, so I'm literally just going to tape on. So I mean, you know, cutting the papers is entirely up to you, and this obviously would work with any set of paper. I just thought I'd show off some of these gorgeous papers that we have coming to you. So I've just added the white as a bit of a contrast. You could choose to do that or not to do that. Entirely up to you. Hi Carol. Hope you're well and had a lovely Christmas. And what I've done with these is I've also cut out a piece of Just Jade to mount. So you can go as simple or as crazy as you want with these. I don't think there's any directional requirement for this particular paper, so just as you fancy. So you can layer it up. As I say, they coordinate with so many colours. It gives you so many opportunities to really just let your imagination go. And actually what was quite interesting for me was I don't often craft using black, so I sort of added a bit of black in there. I don't have any particular reason why I don't craft with black. I don't generally. I have a pack of black card, so I should. As I say, it's just placing these as you see fit. This label I've already made up. I will show you in more detail how I've created that on another card. But essentially, this is the everyday label. So the everyday label is £17 for the oh dear, my words today, the punch. And this thank you is from another SALEa-bration set called Heal Your Heart. So I just particularly love the font. So we've got wishing I could heal your heart, sorry for your loss, I don't know what I'd do without you, I can't promise to always fix your problems, but I can promise you won't ever face them alone, and then we're in this together. I just particularly like the font. So I have literally, as I say, post Christmas we all need thank you cards, don't we? So I thought I'd get myself going with thank you cards, and this was a good opportunity just to show off the set to you. So again, you know, where you put that sentiment would be entirely up to you. I'm going to pop it down in this area, and I have fussy cut out some pieces. I'm going to use glue dots. Oh, and a birthday carol. Oh, you've got a double whammy in there. I hope you get to celebrate them sort of separately rather than together. So I think with fussy cutting bits out again, the world is your oyster. Definitely got my technique going now with fussy cutting, which has helped a lot. So then what I'm going to do with the last one is use a dimensional. Just to give us a bit of lift. So obviously that was already pre-cut, so that was relatively quick to put together, but once you've done your cutting, relatively easy. I think what we could add to this is some little enamel dots. So once we reach SALEa-bration, which is the 5th of January, which is soon going to fly around, it's any spend over £45 to get these papers. Just kind of putting those wherever I fancy. So there's one. So the next one I did slightly differently. Again, I featured the black, and I cut the fussy cut out the thank you. See, really am embracing my inner fussy cut there, aren't I? And there's no set measurements for cutting the pieces, just really as you want to. I used a white card base in this card, so that is slightly smaller. The black layers are kind of a couple of millimeters. So this is one of those papers you really do have to love it, cut it, use it, because that side is just stunning. But I'm hiding it in this instance, and I'm going to use that bumblebee side. So again, layered up. I thought what I'd do with this one is put these layers on slightly different angles, but the basis of the card is pretty much as you fancy. So it's a classic card to case, which is copy and share everything. So you can put your own twist on it with your own view on how papers can be used. And these papers are the flower and field papers. There's a couple of different sets of papers in SALEa-bration. I'm at that point post Christmas where I never know what day of the week it is. I'm going to pop the thank you on there before I put the flowers on. I've not worried too much about sticking down those corners, but if you particularly wanted to, then obviously glue would be the better thing. But because I was layering it over that, I wasn't particularly worried. Glue dots are, in my mind, the best thing for the flowers. So again, it's all just, in this instance I've pre-cut it. I don't think you necessarily need to see me cutting. As I say, there is no set way of cutting it either. I do like to put one onto a dimensional. So this is really about a bit of inspiration to think about how to use papers, or use your existing papers. I mean, how many papers, hi Ali, how many papers have you got that you haven't yet used? So this works with any set of papers. You just need a certain level of coordination. So here I've focused on the Flirty Flamingo. So the set of papers goes with Bumblebee, Just Jade and Misty Moonlight from the new in colours for this year. And then you've also got Granny Apple Green, So Saffron, Shaded Spruce, Pumpkin Pie, Pool Party, Petal Pink, Poppy Parade and Flirty Flamingo. So there is lots of opportunity to really play to your heart's content. So then with this one I have cut a black layer with every single one. I say that black card has been sat in my papers, not getting used, so I thought let's give that a whirl. So again, just layering as I fancy. If your brain doesn't allow you to go off skew, then, and that does go over the edge, but all I will do is trim that if I could find my scissors. There we go. So yeah, just slightly over the edge, just cut that so that it coordinates with the card. Otherwise it would have a problem as it went into the envelope. Oh dear, got to the end of that one. Stampin' Seal gives you an indicator of when you've gotten to the end. It tends to get a bit tangled up. And what I've done with this card is, from the paper I cut out a bigger section, so I didn't individually cut those flowers. I also cut some leaves because I thought it'd be rather nice layered up like that. And then to layer up these labels, as I've pre-made that one, essentially I've used the everyday label. I've created the top layer, and then I've cut two different layers, and all we're doing is cutting each of those layers in half, and a bit of tape on, glue, whatever your preference is, and then positioning that in that way. And for the black one, again, and so you can have as little or as much showing as you want. You can use as many or as few colours as you want. So this works with any label that is has a straight edge. If you don't have a straight edge, it doesn't tend to work quite so well because you don't get that straight line up, and you'd have to start trimming it. So as I say, just cut them out, cut them down the middle, and then just separate them slightly. So I'm going to put the label on before I stick that flower down. As I say, the paper to me, ooh, we'll do it the right way up, shall we? That would got a bit of excess there. Sticking labels on the right way up generally makes cards a little bit easier for people to and you know what I've probably done? No, I haven't. I've managed to managed to put them all together with them opening the right way. But if we go back to, I haven't got a full sheet of paper handy, but you can cut as little or as much out. So you could, those three, you could cut those all together, or you could cut them individually. But I just fancied, because I'd cut others individually, I thought that would be quite nice to cut that as a whole, and then almost sort of slightly wrap it over. That, oh, I didn't put any bling on. I think I am going to leave that bit so that that's fairly floaty. So I'm going to use some wet glue, I think, just because I want to retain that little bit of wriggle room. So just generally, so yeah, I think it's whether you're using up the DSP, or I think some of our papers are so beautiful that sometimes you just don't want to cut them up. So it really got me sort of chopping and cutting into it and using it, because what's the point if you don't use it? So that just sort of wraps around, and that's gives it a little bit of dimension by having that loose. Obviously you need to be careful popping that into an envelope. Oops. Just throwing things. Luckily that was my pick tool, and it didn't land in my leg because I realised I didn't put any. So these come as a pack with 3 sizes, so you've got a large, kind of medium, and then you get lots of the small ones. What I find with these small ones is they're really nice because they're small, just to pop as a, it's possible to just pop a little double one, because they're just sort of quite handy to pop around. So again, oh, I think I might actually, let's put a bigger one. Put one of each size on. Let's try that. Put a bigger one onto that label just to fill that little gap there. Small one, maybe up in that corner. And then one of the sort of medium-sized ones down in this corner. Because nothing says they have to be the same size or whatever, so you can do whatever you like. But essentially, that's just a few ideas. I don't know where the ones are that I've made earlier. So here's some. So there's the 3 I've just quickly done for you. There's that one, just shows off that paper beautifully. So look, they're not even all going to fit onto the screen there, but you know, you can see the possibilities are endless with the papers. Fussy cutting, I'd say it works with any paper, particularly from Stampin' Up, because they do coordinate. This flower and field paper coordinates with 11 colours plus obviously black and white, so your possibilities are endless. So hopefully that's given you some inspiration to go get creative with some of your DSP, and thank you for joining and watching if you catch up with me later, and I look forward to catching up with you soon. Take care. Bye.